Hello everyone, the Lord of the Rings set is finally here, and we're going to go ahead and kick things off with Sauron the Dark Lord in historic Brawl. Alright, so Sauron is an absolutely amazing creature here. We have Ward sacrifice a legendary artifact or legendary creature, making him very difficult for our opponents to target. Whenever our opponent casts a spell, we're also going to grow our orc army, amass 1, and whenever our army deals combat damage to a player, we're going to have the ring tempt us. And when that happens, we can discard our hand and draw 4 cards, which is a great way to get some more gas in the late game. Now, we've built this deck around the amass mechanic, so we have all of our orc and amass synergies, as well as some counter magic to back that up, and a couple of thematic choices for cards like the One Ring, which is also going to help us draw cards and protect us for a turn. Lots of fun cards in this deck, a whole lot of thematic value as we're raising up our orc army and beating down our opponents. Now let's go ahead and see how this does. Alright, and here we go. Right off the bat, I'd like to see a couple more lands on our starting hand. We're going to go ahead and take a mulligan here. This is a little bit better because we have that Cold Steel Heart. Start with our tap land, Scry. Actually going to go ahead and bottom that. Next turn we've got Cold Steel Heart. We are going to play the Cold Steel Heart out on red to make sure that we have access to all of our colors. Wormtongue might be a strong choice for next turn. Got a couple of other options as well. Alright, good to see another land. Let's go ahead and play out Wormtongue. Additionally, draw a card. Now, the reason we didn't draw first is because of the new ring mechanic. We wanted to select Wormtongue as our ring bearer. Next turn, we're going to be in a pretty good spot as well. We've got Arcane Signet, Call of the Ring, slowly start buffing up our ring bearer. Could, in fact, play out Mirkwood Bats, too. Lots of different strong choices for us. Yep. Looks good to me. Alright, we're gonna start off with Arcane Signet. Then we're gonna play out Call of the Ring. Move to combat. Looks good. Next turn, we're going to have access to 5 mana. Alright. Here we go, ticking up. Gonna get some additional value here. And we are going to pay that life to draw our card. Looks good. And here's Sauron. Opponent is tapped out. I'm not too scared of a counterspell here. Even if they do have the Pact, they can't use it because they won't be able to pay. And we're just going to go ahead and pass the turn. Having Sauron here feels pretty good. Whenever our opponents cast their spells, we're going to start amassing that army. Hopefully our opponent does elect to do something this turn. I would like to move our Ring Bearer token over onto our army on that next turn. We'll see what we do, though. Alright. Opponent just passes their turn. Hey, let's go with Sauron here. I think a new 4 cards would be fine. Alright, looks good. Pay 2 life? Yeah, let's draw another card. And draw for turn. Alright, we're in a pretty good spot. I'm going to start by moving to combat. I'm going to swing in with Sauron. This is going to let us draw a card and discard a card. We have a counterspell now. Let's discard just one of our swamps. See if there are any blocks. Maybe our opponent has a spell that they'd like to try and use to interact here. We do have the counterspell if there's an issue. Okay, I guess we've got it. Alright, here we go. Playing into a Tom Bombadil deck. We've got enough mana to get all of our colors. This looks good to me. We're going to go ahead and keep. Start with our tap land. I like Chromatic Lantern. We'll leave that right on top. Alright. Arboreal Grazer. Our opponent is ramping. Shotgun of Blood Crypt for the Arcane Signet. We also have a bunch of Nazgul in our hand. Can get those out, start growing them. Alright. Let's see. I think we're just gonna play out the Chromatic Lantern here. We missed the land drop, but that's okay. We still have access to the same amount of mana as our opponent. Puts us in a good spot. Alright. We're just gonna go ahead and kill the familiar and start our army. That feels like a pretty good way to go. Alright, there's Kenrith. We're gonna play out Sauron here. No attacks. Next turn, we have our Nazgul. We can start letting the ring tempt us. Our opponent chooses not to cast any spells. Let's go for the Nazgul here. Let's go ahead and we can make Sauron our ring bearer. We're not gonna discard our hand right now. But we will after this. I think a new 4 would be pretty nice for us. Yep, keep Sauron as the ring bearer. Yep, take that action. Some more Nazgul. Alright, and we did find a land. Let's go ahead and play our land. Move to combat. Discard a card, draw a card. Yep. He can trade if he wants to. That's fine. We'll get rid of the plating. Let's see if they actually block. They do. That's fine. Sure, yep, they draw a card as well. Back to the command zone. We do have enough lands to just cast Sauron again next turn. See if our opponent plays out. Okay, nope, just doing some ramping. Alright, we do also have the Witch King, but I'm gonna go for Sauron again. If it gets countered, it gets countered. Alright. Swing like this. Looking good. Next turn, we can use our Nazgul to select a Ring Bearer. We can also play out the Witch King. That would be pretty strong. Nope, we've got it, alright! Alright, a lot of Lord of the Rings being popular today, playing into Tom Bombadil. Now, let's see, do we want to keep this opening hand? I think we do. I have no problem keeping this. Now, we're not going to be able to cast our counterspell just yet, since we don't have the mana for it. But we do have a lot of early threats. Let's start with our tap land. Alright. And next turn, we can flash out the Bowmasters. And now we do have lands to support our counterspell. So we will be able to get there in time for our opponent to cast their commander as well, which is great for us. Let's see. So Bowmasters, end of their turn. Nazgul on ours. It's going to be the play. Nazgul is going to grow whenever the ring tempts us. Looks good. Alright. Bowmaster. Damage to our opponent. Alright, Nazgul. Alright, let's put it on our army. Our army is our ring bearer now. Deal some damage. Okay, come on, flip. Now we do have counterspell. But I think we're gonna go for the Berserker instead. Fabled Passage. Let's go ahead and get rid of Memory Lapse. Dealing some damage. We're gonna want to hold up Counterspell next turn, so we can counter our opponent's commander. I think we'll pretty much have the game if we do that. Play out Fabled Passage, get closer to Sauron. Opponent just needs a blue land. Alright. Growing the champion. Gonna keep amassing with the Bowmasters if our opponent keeps drawing cards like that. Alright, well, Temple of Deceit, let's scry. We're already gonna have our 6 lands with the Fabled Passage, so I'm feeling pretty okay. No, we're gonna hold on to the ring. Get rid of the medicine. I think that's better. Looks good. Go ahead and pass the turn. Alright, opponent still doesn't have blue mana. That's gotta be deeply unfortunate for them. We do have that counterspell, though. Sure. No need to counter that, because we know our opponent's gonna cast a creature and an enchantment. Okay, I guess not. That's absolutely wild. Alright. Let's grab a red land. And move to combat. Swing out like this, draw a card, discard a card. Opponent's creatures are going to be too big for that. Right, no blocks. Here's Sauron. Yep. Draws a card. We'll just go ahead and kill that. Okay, opponent gets Dryad. We're going to amass. Keep pinging our opponent's face. This is a very bad non-combo for our opponents. Every time they draw a card, we're going to be able to deal 1 damage to something they control. Or them. Plus, Sauron's going to help our army grow out of control really quickly. Yep. See? Alright, looks good. Opponent down at 14. We're gonna kill Tom here. Okay. Play out the ring. Let's move to combat. I think we're just gonna swing like this. Discard the Watery Grave. Go ahead and pass the turn. Our army is going to keep on growing. Can draw some extra cards with the 1 ring. The end of our opponent's turn. If our opponent keeps playing enchantments and growing the champion, we are going to keep on damaging them. And eventually they are going to have to block the Nazgul. We do have lethal damage on board, as it stands. Sure. See if they pick the Nazgul. They can't pick Sauron. Looks good. Yep. Draw a card. There's some damage. Keep amassing our army. Okay, let's draw a card. Alright. Let's see. Discard, draw 4, yeah, I like that. Let's see, Now we could have our opponent mill here. Hold up, wash away. Let's go to combat first. We're just gonna swing out. Our opponent does have to block. Yep. Down at 3. We're gonna play out the Mouth of Sauron here. Go ahead and end the turn. We have our inherited envelope. We can wash away. There. Oh, that's right. We do have the tax. Did forget about the extra cost of spells with Elspeth Conquers Death. That's still alright, though. If our opponent does start casting spells this turn, we're going to be dealing damage with our Bowmasters. 3 more spells, or 3 more enchantments, and they'll have drawn enough cards to lose the game. Alright. Start amassing. Displacer Kitten. He can flicker Elspeth Conquers Death. Exile Mouth of Sauron. Or the ring, I guess. I think we'd be more sad about the ring. Okay, yep. Mouth of Sauron gone. Draws a card. Opponent down at 2. See if they're gonna cast another spell. I'd love to see another enchantment ETB. Sure. That looks good to me. We have it now. There will be enough triggers on the stack to end the game. Yep. That's fine. Sauron will be gone. Back in the command zone. Draws the card. And notably, he did cast the last enchantment he needs to give us one more damage for the kill. Trigger, once it resolves, is gonna be the game. Yep. There's your card. Good game. Alright, here we are on the play. I actually don't really like this starting hand. We're gonna take a mulligan, see if we can find something a little bit better. I don't like that either. Let's go down 2-6, keep this. Now, we're gonna go ahead and bottom the bats. Call of the Ring is a phenomenal enchantment here. We also have March from the Black Gate. This is gonna be great for building our army. We are going to start with the March. This is going to give us our first creature. We're also playing into Gandalf, so it's quite a fun matchup for us here. Now, we do want to be finding our lands. But next turn, alright, that is unfortunately not a land. We are going to try and cast out Call of the Ring here. Swing out for 1. It amasses off the gate, going in for 2. Alright, next turn, at our upkeep, we will have a Ring Bearer. Opponent casts Brawl. That's unfortunate, so we do want to be wary of counterspells. Yep, we are going to draw that card, because we want our lands. Looks good. Let's go ahead and scry off the temple. We can bottom the ring. Move to combat. Now, opponent can't block with Brawl, but they definitely shouldn't. Next turn, we'll have 4 mana. We've got a couple of different options there, then. Yep. Alright. Taking action. Drawing those cards. It's all Haunted Ridge. Alright, let's move to combat. Our opponent's holding up mana like they have a counterspell. Let's go ahead, attack. Draw and discard. I do like that. Let's go ahead and get rid of Shadow of the Enemy. And I'm gonna try and resolve another creature here. Perfect. Yep, creatures are very important against counterspell heavy decks. We're hoping our opponent has less interaction. Perfect. Yep, we're just gonna keep losing life and keep drawing cards. Okay. Orcish Bowmasters has Flash. That's gonna be awesome for us. Let's start by just going up to the 4th level with the ring. Draw a card. We'll pay it again. Go up to 7 cards in hand. No reason not to. And we've got a good mix of colors here. We're gonna play that on black, though. Move to combat. Swing for 3. I like having Memory Lapse here. Let's get rid of a Swamp. Okay, opponent does block. Brawl is now doomed to die. Well, this is a really funny Memory Lapse. Yeah, that's fine. Brawl comes back. Looks good. Keep on paying life. Having more cards is fun. Now let's go with Underground River here. Move to combat. We're gonna swing out. That's a fun card to have here. Let's get rid of the terrace. Yep. Getting the damage through. Opponent's gonna lose 3 life. We'll just amass here. We're gonna start trying to grow our orc army again. Now we can end the turn. We have the Bowmasters that we can flash in on our opponent's turn. If we do that, I'd like to try and get a counterspell out of the way so we can resolve Sauron. Opponent plays a tap land. Almost up where they can cast Gandalf. Alright, let's flash in Bowmasters. Army's getting bigger, slow and steady. We've got it, alright. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed watching today. As we saw, Sauron is a super powerful commander. His ward cost makes him so difficult to remove from the battlefield, if you can actually get him there, and I can only imagine that it's going to become more and more difficult for our opponents to do that as fewer Lord of the Rings decks are in the historic Brawl ladders. Additionally, he is a value machine, giving extra card draw, growing our army token on the board as well, and being an overall nuisance for our opponent to deal with, and making sure we can get in that extra damage. Putting all of our cards in for amassing our armies as well is a great way to get incremental value over the course of the game, and start small and get that big threat to a point where our opponent will eventually have to deal with it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, and if you have any ideas for decks you'd like to see me play next, why don't you go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'll see you all next time.